I couldn't be more excited for our September plan with me. September is more of a new year to me than January, and our flower of the world for this month is the sunflower for Ukraine. Hey gang, welcome back. My name is Shayda Campbell, and this is indeed the September plan with me. My theme this year is Flowers of the World. I'm just going to give you a quick flip through of my August planner, which was Heather for Scotland. And this month for September, we're going to do Sunflowers for Ukraine. This was requested, and I thought it was a great idea because to me, the sunflower rising up to the sun with its big happy face is a symbol of joy and strength and beauty and perseverance, and it symbolizes the perseverance of the Ukrainian people who are standing so strong in the face of these horrible atrocities. So with that said, let's get into a fun Dutch store cover page that I think you're really going to love. It's so simple to create, but it looks absolutely beautiful when it's all done. So to begin, we start by making a guide in pencil, and this is going to be a horizontal Dutch door cut through the middle of the page. You want to kind of create a bouncy line, and that's going to show you where your flowers will stop. From there, we begin to draw circles, and the circles show us how large each flower will be and how many flowers there are going to be in the illustration. So just draw a whole bunch of circles clustered together, and then place a large circle at the center of each, because the sunflower have that really big brown seeded stamen. You can add some stems at the bottom. I think I need one more flower up at the top here. And from there, you need to grab two colors. I'm using a dark yellow and a light brown, and I really liked the way that looked, but you could use two different yellows or two different browns. And here's how we'll draw the sunflowers. Using your guide, you're going to go around that large circle at the center and just make these brush marks. Each brush mark becomes a petal, and then you can add some thin lines. So brush marks all the way around, and then a few thin little lines in between to make the flower look lively and detailed. So all the way around in a circle, and then a few little lines, and that's it. We're just going to go around and fill in all of the flowers. This is the power of setting up a guide, as you know where each flower is going to sit, and you don't have to overthink it once you start working in marker, because once we start working in marker, we get into the territory of like, oh, I don't like what I did, I'm going to rip out my page, and I try to rip out as few pages as possible, although it does happen around here. I'm drawing a lot of yellow flowers, and then I'm going to add just a couple of the brown flowers to really make the illustration cohesive. I think having two different colors just makes it look so pretty and detailed. If you fill in all your flowers and you feel like you need one or two more, you can add them. And then we're going to take two colors of gray. So you have a light yellow and a dark yellow, or some brown. And you also need a warm gray, a dark warm gray and a light warm gray. And here I'm taking the darker, this is a very purpley gray, and I'm just drawing in these curving, messy stems. I'll add a couple of leaves, and the leaves are just kind of these large brush marks. I tend to do one or two swipes of the brush to create a leaf shape. And I'm filling in, really framing the flowers with these large leaves, and then of course adding little stems to join the leaves to the branches. From there, we're going to take the lighter gray and fill in even more, lots of stems and leaves. It kind of creates a nice backdrop when you use the lighter color. And at this point, we are ready to add our fine liner. What would a Shayda Campbell illustration be without that sketchy black line? So take a larger fine liner, like a 1 millimeter nib. Typically, I'm using like a 0.2 or 0.4 millimeter. For this illustration, I'm going with that big chunky nib, the 1 millimeter. And here's how we create the stamen. Using pen, draw a little scribble of dots in the center, and then go around and do a big wheel of dots and scribbles around it. You don't have to be too perfect from this. Messy is best, but I find that gives the look of that sunflower stamen so large and full of seeds, and really it's just all about the dots and scribbles. So don't overthink it, and add that to each and every one of those flowers. You can also add some lines to those stems And then we can grab a smaller nib fine liner, maybe the 0.4 nib, and we'll just add a few sketchy lines on some of those petals, really make our flowers pop, and that's it. That's our sunflower illustration complete. What we need to do now is begin the work of cutting it out. So I'm going to use pencil and kind of sketch around the sunflowers. That just shows me where I want to cut. Maybe need a few more leaves in there. And then I'll use scissors and I'm going to cut out my horizontal Dutch door, using the pencil line as my guide to make this nice sort of fluffy cloud of paper behind those flowers. And that's what it looks like, a horizontal Dutch door, so pretty. And here's what I want to do next. I want to take a creamy paper, you could use any color though that's a little darker, and we're going to rip it down into a thin rectangle. Of course you can cut it, you don't have to rip it. And from there we'll cut it into an arch. Now for the arch, all you need to do is trace a semicircle at the top and cut around it. I did decide to go with a slightly darker paper. The lighter one just wasn't showing up. You could use gray, you could use pink. I really like this sort of dark yellowy beige. It worked with my color palette. Glue your arch in, and that is your stunning Dutch door cover page, almost complete. And we are trying to make an illustration that's all about sunshine and hope and joy and strength. So now what I want to do is sketch in a little circular sun with the sunbeams shining down on the flowers. And we're going to use that rounded part of the Dutch door to act as a guide for our month title, September, which will just kind of be on a curve. And everything is really simple, but it looks so pretty and striking. I'm going over everything with my fine liner. I'm using the 0.7 millimeter nib to do this. Just did September in a very simple lowercase print, color in my sun, and yeah, that's, I think, a very good bang for your buck cover. It's simple, but it's so pretty. I'll write sunflowers down here at the bottom. And then, of course, I will use my Dutch door, the page that sits underneath, as my place to write my goals and affirmations for the month ahead. They're kind of tucked under the Dutch door, and I love that. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite covers that I've done so far this year. That arch and the simple flowers done in only 4 colors with the black. I think it's just striking. Good bang for your buck, as I always say. Moving on, let's flip over to a fresh page and create our calendar. I've already got it marked out in pencil, and as per usual, I'm going over it in pen by simply pulling that pen towards my body to help me keep the lines straight. I'm just going to do this really quick because we do it every month. So little simple grid calendar there, just down on the right. I've got a whole lot of white space here. So I thought it's been a minute since I did my 2-page pattern, that kind of wallpaper look that sits behind the calendar. We did that in March and April, I think. So let's bring it back for September. I'm going to do a sunflower pattern, of course, and I'm going to follow the same formula that I did for the cover page. Now, I'm not doing the pencil guide first. If you need that, by all means do it. What I'm doing is just starting in brush pen. I'm going to do a whole bunch of yellow ones, add in a few brown flowers, and complete it using the 2 gray markers. And this is going to be fun to create, but it's also going to be really fun to watch. So just sit back and relax and enjoy watching me fill in these entire 2 pages with a whole lot of sunflowers. I always put some right up against that calendar so that it looks like a continuous pattern that goes right underneath of my little grid calendar there. And for anyone who's thinking, I don't have time to do this every month, I get you, I feel that. I also struggle to find the time. Luckily, creating these videos is my job, but doing the weekly layouts is another story, and I struggle to get stuff done because life is busy. Well, good news, you can print my cover page for yourself and just glue it in your planner and go on your merry way with a pretty journal. That is available on my Patreon site, so head over there after today's video. It's only $2 a month or $22 for the year to get all of the bonus content, and bonus content does come out every single week. Coloring pages, extra videos, you know the drill. Okay, I'm finishing up with a little black pen to complete the stamen at the center of each flower, a little scribble there. And then I'm taking a tiny bit of ripped paper. I'm like, where should I put it? On the left? On the right? I don't know. I decided on the right, and we'll glue that in. And that's just a nice way to add our month title to an otherwise busy but beautiful calendar page. So I'm just going to write September there. September is another word that I can never really write in cursive. It just gets long and weird. I'm not good at cursive, not great at hand lettering. So a little print always looks good. Anywho, this is what we have so far. A pretty Dutch door, our goals and affirmations underneath, a calendar page, and then I want to do my weekly layout, and I really enjoyed the weekly layout that we did in August, so I am bringing it back for September. The star of this layout is a folded Dutch door that sits right in the center. It's a wonderful place to add large to-do lists and extra notes. And to create this layout, what we do is make that Dutch door first, just fold one page. And then over here on the left, you're creating a grid of 6. So you just want to make it even, 6 even squares. And then once you've got that, you'll erase the top left square to give you 5 squares. We're going to do the same exact thing over on the right, create a grid of 6 squares. Each square has a little thin header at the top, and then erase the bottom right square before going over everything with fine liner. So always erase that corner first to help you not go over that part with pen. And again, like the calendar, I just pull the pen towards my body. It helps me keep it steady, and I don't need to fuss about with a ruler because rulers just mess me up. I'm going to add a little calendar up here in the top left, and at the bottom right, I usually just write the dates that these weeks cover. And what I really, really love about this layout is that it covers 2 weeks. And honestly, in August, I was like, oh no, I need to do a weekly layout and I don't have time. And then I was like, wait a minute. I already did it because I had done a double weekly layout. So that's always a good feeling when you're short on time. Just do 2 weeks at once when you do have that half hour set aside to do your journal. That's the basic layout. It's not very fussy, but it gives a lot of space for notes, and it does give you space for an illustration if you have that extra time. And of course, that's what I'm going to do right now. So on the bottom of the Dutch door, I'm just going to place some sunflowers. Again, drawing them using that same formula. If you need the pencil guide, go ahead and add it. And then that still gives me the back of the Dutch door where it's not as prominent to place all my to-do lists. And in August, I had like a huge to-do list going for stuff that I need to do around the house. I'm the worst at moving to a new space because not only do I want to paint everything and reno everything, for every piece of furniture that I need for the new house, I want to do it myself. I rarely go buy anything new. I find everything on Facebook buy and sell. So first there's a hunt. Then once I find it, I typically need to sand it, paint it, prime it, refinish it completely. Let's just say that. And then, and then the piece is ready to go in the house. So you can imagine with a whole bunch of rooms, if we need, bedside tables, I'm like, let me go find them and then refinish them. Even IKEA pieces I tend to want to paint for myself. So everything is slow going, and all that is just a long way of saying I have a really big to-do list. And so a Dutch door like this is perfect for hiding that from the world, but yet letting me keep track and not go insane, which I like. So here is my sunflower illustration. I did use green for the leaves. A really dark, cool green, I think, makes that golden yellow pop, and it just looks like fall. I still did a little bit of shading with my fine liner just on the petals. Gives the look of a little texture on the petals and the leaves. And then that's it. She's all done. I'm going to add a bit of color to my calendar and to the grid here, just with a nice light brown. We'll add the dates in the bottom right, as I said. And finally, I kind of just wanted to show you what I did for August, just so you can compare and contrast. Little illustration, lots of space for to-do lists. So I'll have the same thing going on over here, and that's been really good. I'm loving every year there's a weekly layout that I really love, and I do it a bunch, and I think this is going to be the one for 2022. So pretty Dutch door with the colorful arch and those sunflowers rising up to meet the sun. I'm super happy with this cover page, and I hope that you'll try it for yourself, because when you do that pencil guide, it makes it very doable, and you have all your goals and affirmations for the month tucked underneath. I will take a fine liner and just write sunflowers, Ukraine on the back. Every month I try to just note which country we've celebrated and which flower we've illustrated. We've done so many, and we've covered a lot of flowers that I otherwise might not have, and so keep those requests coming. I've got a master list going. This was my pattern calendar page, my fun Dutch door weekly layout that I probably am going to do in October. And the only thing I have left to say is, if you want to print my cover page, you can do that. Head over to Patreon, $2 a month or $22 for the year to get all the bonus content and support the channel. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm so close to 1 million, and it really helps me out when you just subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.